Okay, folks. So in the previous video, I think we could see we got enough flow here to possibly do something. I gave it some thought, and I've decided that trying to route this turbocharger and have it feed back into the carburetor, back into the I don't can't say it's not gonna work, but I know this works. We know they work. The saw runs. Okay. So, assuming we have the parts made, which we don't, but I'm not saying, just bear with me here. I'm just saying we have a miniature turbocharger. We have it affixed to the exhaust such that the exhaust can escape, and we have some kind of super alloy, whatever, where this thing spins and it just barely, the flap of the wings of a moth will spin this thing. Okay, so very, very little resistance. Maybe special bearings or whatever. Certain additives or whatever. The tolerance is so tight, I mean, it just almost spins perpetually. Once you hit it in motion, it'll go around, around, around. Eventually it'll stop, but I mean, it's very free wheeling. So you have this little mini turbo on here, okay, and it's spinning the impeller, and then on the other side you would need another tiny carburetor and an air filter, okay. So we know that this exhaust coming this way, trying to flow it this way, nah. I personally, I follow the KISS rule. If you don't know what the KISS rule is, it's keep it simple, stupid. Trying to run it back here, not saying it can't be done, but that's not the way I'm going to attack it here. So, we have the turbocharger built, mounted. We have another small carburetor, and, it's not like these things aren't available. RC cars, nitro helicopters, okay? You can get the bare bones of it, and then obviously you might have to do some work to get it to run with gas, but this is not, rocket science to get this to work. I mean, obviously the Venturi size, there's going to be all kinds of things that got to be, but we can do this. It's not impossible. So now this turbo's sitting on here, the saw's running, it's spinning it. It's drawing through a small air filter, drawing through the carburetor. It's actually sucking through the carburetor. And now we have this boost, okay? What do we do with the boost? Well, we're not going to come in the bottom here. I'm not going to run this into the carburetor. So we can cut this half of the cylinder right off. Forget about it. And we're only going to deal with this part. So, normal combustion happens, comes down, pressurizes it, comes through the transfers. The piston's on its way up. As soon as the top ring of that piston seals off this exhaust port, you have perhaps an auxiliary port drilled somewhere in here. I'm just thinking, for sake of argument, the way I'm thinking of it, she'll go right above that port. So now it's got to be aimed and angled just like the transfer ports. Okay, and you're going to have to play around with it. And what that'll do is that turbo will take the exhaust, spin the impeller, draw the fuel air mix through, the air through the air filter, through the mini carb, and the impeller will actually give you pressure. And you have a little port or nozzle or whatever. Maybe you can come up with something where you can adjust the flow almost down to nothing. Run it. Now you got the flow down to nothing. You can check out how much boost you have, and you got a way to play around with it right from the beginning. Because think about it, you're going to start drilling all kinds of different size holes and this and that. You're just going to make a nightmare of it. You're better off just having a valve to begin with. So that piston is on the upstroke. She's coming up. That top ring of that piston seals this off. Now, poof. Your turbo is pushing fuel mix in there. And she's rising to the top with what it normally aspirated through the carburetor, plus the additional injection, which would probably give you, let's say this the carburetor is 100% efficient. We know it's not, but to say it's 100%, you may get an extra 10, 20, 30% more fuel air mix. And then with different other things you can do, you could probably get a little more than that. You know, I don't know how much this thing is going to take. I don't have the engineering specs from steel. I mean, you know, how much extra pressure is this piston going to take? And I'm talking maybe a pound and a half of boost. I don't know. I mean, it's probably going to prematurely wear the engine, but if somebody wants to play with the turbo, they don't care. They're so, well, that's what I come up with. I guess you could also too, on some of these cylinders that have the decomp valve, you could set it up that way too, but then you're going to be fighting a hell of a lot more pressure if you catch it when that top ring just comes up there and just starts making compression. She shoots in there, you know, mixes with the other fuel. She comes up and boom. Now, I don't know these guys that like to do machining work. You know, this one's pretty thick. But you know, you start taking too much off these bases here. You don't really have much ear. You know, this is just cast on there. You cut too much off, and then you're going to put a turbo on top of it. You're probably going to crack the ear or blow the ear off. That's my theory. So, but yeah, I think I kind of gave Waldo the keys to the Ferrari there. Let's see what he comes up with.